where were you when you found out that And Just Like That was canceled? Because I was in an alleyway in Chicago.
We just wrapped this week's podcast and found out as soon as we were done that And Just Like That is done. I'm in shock.
We were just getting started, but you will not be able to take the yap out of myself and Caroline. We will still be yapping. Let us know in the comments what you want to yap about next.
This season is really taking off somewhere. We're excited about the possibility of what could happen with Carrie. This is really shocking, and I'm really kind of sad, weirdly. I feel like the rug was pulled out from under us. Welcome back, everybody. We are in episode 10 of And Just Like That. We are thrilled to tell you Aiden is not here. Aiden's not here.
He's gone.
Aiden.
He went back to Virginia.
Yeah. Carrie is back at a familiar haunt at the window writing. The woman returned to herself. The parallels are ever more obvious.
Yes.
And she's going downstairs, and now I noticed, wow, all it took was for Aiden to leave for her to rob a Crate and Barrel. Yeah. And there's furniture in every corner of this home.
A shocking amount of just like different kinds of furniture. Yeah. Like eclectic is, I guess, the word I would use.
Who is waiting in the dining room but one Duncan, reading her pages? Yep. Again, so impressed. She had done all she could, repeating that last sentence.
I'm having so much trouble with this because, like, I feel like even Jonathan Cake, who is an incredible actor playing Duncan, I feel like he doesn't even believe what he's saying. None of the writing we have seen seems like it's any good. And this character just did a total 180 after he read her writing. Like, he was just a, total grump, didn't want to get to know her, didn't want to be friends with her. And then he read this book and is like, oh! And, everything he has to say about it is, it's the great American novel, the best one ever written. And it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't track.
It's never been more clear that this man wants to have sex with her. And that is, actually what is the subtext of all this feedback that she's getting. Here's what I want. We've heard so much prose, never-ending prose of this. And just like that, I dare you to release the manuscript at the end of this season because I need to read it. We need to read it. I need to know what's actually in these incredible pages that she's changed literature as we know it. I have to read it.
Yeah, release it, you cowards.
I know, and we'll do it just like book club, and I'm sure we will all be titillated. And then he's like, oh, wow, and he dies of the untreated wound. Again, the not clear metaphor of, this is Aiden. Oh, yeah, we found out the second character's name, the man. The woman and the man. They say, write what you know. And she's writing her fresh breakup, And he says, the only time I've had any sort of writing fuel moment like this is when it was cocaine fueled. So we're getting a little bit more details into Duncan's backstory here. A little bit about that, oh, our stew man contains multitudes.
Snort some lines, write some lines,
We have some good banter going back and forth. She wanted a scotch. We're in the butler's pantry. Let me know if the prose gets too purple, which I was like, what is it? I have a very British phrasing that we got here. One-upping each other. I only have 5 best-selling books. I have 7. Ooh!
I did like this energy between the two of them because Carrie is being very confident. I don't have a clear memory of any time in the previous iterations of Sex and the City of her having a heterosexual male friend that she could verbally spar with in this way.
Totally. It's like she doesn't have to hide her success. She doesn't have to hide that part. Whereas if you think about, the other writer she's dated, Berger, the minute he found out about her success, he got so threatened by everything about her. It's nice that Carrie doesn't have to diminish any part of that.
I like Carrie better when Duncan is around.
Same. But also I'm now thinking, I hope she saged the shit out of that house before after Aiden left. Because that was some tall, dark energy just to have around.
Yeah.
With a speed stick, sage stick. And then, like a siren song, we hear, oh man, Miranda.
Oh my God. And the fact that that's the first line out of his mouth. Miranda. There he is, Stevie.
And Brady has made them dinner, and it looked incredible. It was black cod, carrot puree, and sauteed Swiss chard. I was like, okay, Brady has brought them together to tell them some news, and we're finding out that he's quitting Scout. He's been working at Scout, so that sort of confirmed our question a few weeks ago when he talked to Miranda when the TikTok around the world was sent out. Yeah. And he wants to go back to school. He's enrolled at the Institute for Culinary Education. Miranda is, of course, over the moon because this means he's getting a degree of some kind. Our Harvard girl is getting her son with a degree. She couldn't be more thrilled. But, like, you know, we're happy. And then find out Brady's gotten someone pregnant. How did you feel when we got this?
I was like, we are on episode 10 of 12. We're gonna have to start wrapping stuff up, and you're gonna do this now? Like, these are the consequences of nearly constant fucking, Brady.
Or does he just have so much riz in person that girls in Brooklyn are just falling over him? They're like, a man that can cook.
Joy really warmed up to him, like, immediately because he complimented the dog. So, like, I don't know. Brady might have game.
I also did have the thought, because I know some people commented, like, saying that they thought Joy's response was, like, not great to Miranda admitting she has alcoholism. And part of me is like, what do we think, like, Joy is going to respond to getting this news from Miranda? Is this going to, like, freak her out and make her run in the opposite direction?
It might, because it definitely complicates things.
And naturally, they do not have a good reaction. I realize at this point I should have had a fuck counter for this scene, because Steve says it so many times from here.
He does. He's freaked out.
And she's a lawyer and a mother and has got to ask the right questions, because she finds out, like, they've not been dating. How do you know it's yours? Which was, like, such a, like, to the gut kind of here. But unfortunately, like, I understand why she's asking it.
Yeah, it feels like an icky question because it's assuming that, you know, the woman in question it has been promiscuous. But again, she is his mother, and this is potentially a situation that's going to change the entire trajectory of their family.
We're just leaving everything in a bad place, and Brady has said, well, this isn't about you and Mom.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously this sort of echoes the situation of how they had Brady. Miranda has to call the Avengers. The three 56-year-old women try to figure out how to get on a three-way phone call. Charlotte and Carrie at the same time. And I loved this split screen. This split screen was so fun. I was like, actually, why haven't we done this more?
I know. We haven't been doing this enough. And they didn't do it enough in the original series either. There was only like one episode I can think of where there's like a four-way split screen phone call between the women. It's very fun energy.
It was a great time. I really loved it. And Charlotte, I love, was like, oh my God, that's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, she couldn't help herself.
She can't help herself. But we're on the phone call. Everyone was very shocked about Brady. As we know, Miranda doesn't do well with gray areas. She is not.
Sure doesn't.
She loves black and white. She loves boundaries. She loves rules. She loves structure.
And let's remember, Miranda didn't necessarily want to tell Steve originally. Right. And they had a very non-traditional parenting situation. Like, they ended up married, obviously, but, like, they weren't for the first year of Brady's life.
And there's no good transition. You know, Giuseppe and Anthony, they're in the throes of making love. We see there's a fireman at the door who has told them they have to evacuate. And Giuseppe says, we can go to my apartment, which is shocking because I just assumed they already lived together.
Yeah, we never have heard anything about Giuseppe's apartment other than the fact that, like, his mother wanted him to have, like, a nicer, bigger one with an original Hockney.
Everything about Giuseppe is sort of like a figment of Anthony's imagination. He's like, I'd love a hot 20-something who's artistic and he's, like, vaguely rich.
Giuseppe's a complicated figure of, like, everything about him would lead you to confirm that Anthony's original suspicions were correct, that he is indeed just with him for, like, stability, but he's not at this point. But yeah, we'll see his apartment in a moment.
And we find out he has a roommate who works the night shift at Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. And Anthony's like, all right, let me go get my Wham cassettes to really wedge it in there how old Anthony is. And we are back at the Wexleys. How many more, like, versions of a plot line do we have to get that Lisa's busy, can't be with her family, and can't do it all?
It's sort of like Severance. This character is just stuck in an endless I'm too busy loop where I'm just panicking in my closet.
Yeah, and at least on Severance, she would have gotten, like, a music party. You know?
Yeah, a music experience.
A music experience, and instead we're getting, like, the family experience over and over again. This election's happening already? Like, I feel like there's been no pomp and circumstance for this thing.
Yeah, we didn't hear about the election for a while until last week when Herbert was stress eating, and, like, I guess the election's happening
Today. Yeah.
Today, tomorrow.
Which is funny because none of the other characters have talked about an election and that they need to go vote.
I know. I thought about that as well. I was like, I don't see anybody wearing an I voted sticker.
When I watched this episode last night, I was like, wow, I didn't think we were going to get our second NSYNC reference of the season. We've gone from the big balls to now NSYNC and the bye bye bye. I think of the music video when they're like, you probably gonna start a fight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen, I watched that marionette puppet video or the snippets of it that I could catch on TRL many, many, many times. This was No Strings Attached was probably the album where I was the most obsessed with possibly marrying Justin Timberlake someday. So yes.
Were you more BSB or NSYNC?
NSYNC for sure. There was nobody in BSB that I was all that attracted to.
Nick Carter or Kevin? Kevin's hot.
No, not really. No, Kevin always felt too old.
Well, more embarrassing things I'm going to share about myself. I read Backstreet Boys fan fiction when I was like 9. It was on Angel Fire. If you really know.
Oh my God, I just died. Yeah, Andrew, who is much older than any of us expected when the night shift at Whole Foods was mentioned. He's also got a little ascot, like he's dressed like Geppetto.
I know. I don't know what portal you came in from. And Anthony's asking all the right questions.
Correct.
Who the fuck was that? And Giuseppe, God, this is when I knew he, like, if we didn't already know that Giuseppe was, like, in the bubble, like they talk about in 30 Rock, this man is in the bubble. He carves original characters out of wood. We met at Strawberry Fields.
He does entertainments in the park.
Oh my God. Yes, I am his muse.
But yeah, he's like so happy about it. He's like, yeah, I mean.
And it's probably not the first time he's been someone's muse. He's been told that muse in quotation marks.
I'm not saying you can't enjoy puppets. I'm just saying there's a creepy energy about a puppeteer. That's all I want. That's all I'm going to say.
And especially when the roommate is making a puppet that looks like you. Like, that's like an especially specific, like, dark energy. It's not like you're working at Sesame Street. Like, this is...
I've seen single white female. Like, I'm not okay with it.
Yeah. And Giuseppe's like, no, he's asexual. Setting up the dark energy for the scenes ahead. Anything else you got to say about the current moment for Giuseppe?
No, because things are about to get so much worse.
At your Goldenblatt headquarters, I guess we're doing renovations that we've not heard about. Harry's balls have shrunk and the vertigo never happened. Like, so I guess we're back to normal.
I have such whiplash from this TV show in general, but the York Goldenblatts, it's funny, like, there's always something stressful going on in this apartment. Like, the family vibe is, like, very close and actually, like, very, like, jovial, but there's, like, they're just always amped up on, like, some kind of stress.
We see that Charlotte's going on a Zoom with someone named Rhonda Portant, and find out that Charlotte has won a psychic energy cleanse in some kind of auction for $40. And we transition to Seema and Adam, and we find out this is professional artist subsidized housing, which I wanted to puke.
I did. I mean, while I don't necessarily believe that this was ever artist subsidized housing per se, because it's just too gorgeous. The fact that he says that he only pays $900 a month for this in Manhattan makes me want to just lay down and die and be covered in dirt like this.
I know, to know that in Manhattan, it's just like knowing what struggles friends who have lived in New York have gone through with like broker fees and things like that. But there are these apartments that you do hear about that people are like, and that's why you never leave. And we find out that Adam's mom died of breast cancer when he was 20. This plant he's had since he was 7. So he's been tending to this plant. I mean, Seema's just like sort of freaked out. Also kind of just feels like Seema's looking for an excuse to be freaked out.
100%.
And that this like relationship is like not working. Also, the way that they've dressed Adam, I kept thinking, I was like, are we trying to model him after Seth Rogen? Now with like the pottery. It feels it just feels very like that vibe.
Adam mentions that his mother was a raku potter. Do you know what that means?
No. What does that mean?
Okay, so speaking of Seth Rogen and pottery, Jim and I are very big fans of the Great Pottery Throwdown, which is
my God.
Yes, it is the pottery version of the Great British Bake Off, and it is one of the best things you will ever watch on television. It is people
also
who
on
like
HBO Max.
Yes, also on HBO Max. This just like made me laugh because I was like, oh my God, raku.
We then cut to Seema and Carrie having a nightcap. And Seema's now like, mommy issues. That's going to be the reason that's not going to work. I mean, Carrie's like, I don't see the problem because she's like, an alive family is an issue. And Seema's like, well, no, dead, she's a saint. Seema, like, it's just such a weird, again, that's really where I felt like, I was like, you're looking for an excuse for this to not work. Especially as someone like with a dead mom, I was like, this seems very healthy, like his response.
Yeah, like it's been a while. It seems like he has processed it and like wanted to share that information with her. And I don't know, it's just making a lot of assumptions without talking to him about it. Correct. But I get it because Seema's whole thing has been like, I have been around the block. I have dated every type of man. She is definitely looking for an excuse because she's afraid of like this intimate connection that's clearly developing between the two of them.
I forgot to say when we were at his apartment, the apartment kind of reversed my ick on Adam.
It's a nice apartment. It's a really nice apartment that he like did well nicely with. Yeah, I agree.
And we find out that Carrie can't get food because she has to meet Duncan at 7:30. And Seema's like, oh, this collaboration has really worked out. Interesting. Yeah. And could it be more than a writing partner? The question everyone wants to know. And Carrie's like so adamant against it at first because she's like, I can't believe this man sees me as smart first. Cute, yes. Sexy, yes. But never smart. And I just thought that was so interesting.
Yeah. And like, it was very, very clear. Duncan kind of almost wanted nothing to do with Carrie until they formed this writing partnership and became so close. And it is true. Like, if you actually think back to all of the iterations of Sex and the City, there were definitely guys who appreciated that Carrie was like witty and could like hold her own in banter. Alexander Petrovsky always sort of like giggled at her column, but like didn't take it nearly as seriously as his own art, obviously. Berger was always weird about it because obviously he was weird about her success, but he also didn't seem to think that her writing deserved that level of success. Aiden kind of never really acknowledged Carrie's writing until he like needs to help her get a new laptop. The thing that makes Carrie Carrie has always been very separate from the thing that makes Carrie herself in relationships. So like this kind of surprised me and shocked me, this like level of self-awareness of like, I'm 56, 57 years old at this point, and like no man has actually gotten to know like the most personal part of what I do. And that was actually very cool. And I appreciate the fact that she was like, it might make it worse to add sex into this.
Yeah, it feels really nice like that she's being seen for who she is, and he's actually taking an interest in like what she has to offer.
Aiden walks in the door of the Gramercy apartment and immediately wants to have sex with Carrie, which, like, I get because they've been apart and she's hot.
Where's my woman? Let me get my meat. Seema's like, okay, I'm taking this in. Interesting. A man can be interested in all of you. Fascinating. I've not experienced this, or maybe I am now. And the best Easter egg, the man outside. We find out Seema somehow, between the last episode and this one, has gotten enough money to hire Rocco back.
She's not doing the rock crystal deodorant, and she's not doing public transit. She's got to be fresh as a daisy when she shows up for a client meeting.
The Scooby-Doo gang is back. Charlotte and Miranda are out talking about this situation with Mia, is the name of the girl that Brady has gotten pregnant. And she's like, we are going to the salon, but she doesn't know that I'm coming. Now, I find out we have a very fun Nepo that is playing Mia. Who do you think this Nepo is?
I don't know. I actually have no idea.
Okay, we've referenced a show that one of her parents works on, actually, this episode.
Today?
Yeah, today.
Well, it's not Great Pottery Throwdown.
Severance.
Oh, Ben Stiller.
And Christine Taylor. Ella Stiller. We find out she's a shampoo girl, so she's not a stylist. She's making a wellness app, which I'm like, uh-oh. You're about to be a mother and you're making a wellness app. Uh-oh.
Not great. It's not great.
It's not good. And there's no better caption. Mia just starts farting while shampooing
loudly and
repeatedly.
I was kind of shocked at how much they made this woman into literally a walking joke. I don't know what point we're trying to make here. Are we trying to make the point that, like, maybe it's going to be fine if Mia does her own thing with the baby and, like, the Brady Hobbs family is not involved? Or are they trying to make the point that, like, this is going to be even more of an issue because she is a difficult character to deal with?
I mean, I think it's going to be like the latter of, like, Miranda's going to be like, I'm going to have to get involved. I think that's like knowing Miranda. She's like, I have to insert myself. And this means if my grandchild is out in the world, a future Harvard student, I will be involved. And we find out she was going to get an abortion, but then found out the baby is going to be a double Libra, which is a fucking vibe. And Miranda can't keep her cool, breaks her cover, and asks if she's... It's just like, this was when I'm like, oh, Miranda, you can't do this.
No. You can't just go around asking people how like, who impregnated them. You can't do that.
That's just, like, not a thing you can do. And we find out, hi, I'm Fuck Buddy's mother.
We knew that was going to happen. I knew that Miranda was going to end up putting her foot in her mouth and revealing who she was. That was obvious from the beginning.
We've left this not in a good place. Miranda has made everything worse. For the 2 episodes we have left in the season.
She immediately is like, problem, I will fix it. And then she doesn't think about how she's going to fix it in a good way. She just, like, goes at it and makes it, like, 1,000 times worse.
Back to lovers' quarters. The upstairs, downstairs. Duncan is walking through the house, hello, and is like, I'm breaching enemy territory. Carrie's trying to print out the pages. And Duncan comes up there and he's like, I can fix that. I know what I'm doing. And I needed to take a picture, just like, this is the inspiration board, I guess, for her novel.
Oh. I didn't even know. Look at that big old top hat.
I know.
Oh, look at her doing her dramaturgy. Look at this.
And so funny. He was like, you write in front of a window, which is what Carrie has always done. We've never not seen her right in front of a window. I just thought that was so funny. And then taking an interest in her closet, which, again, no man has ever taken an interest in her closet whatsoever.
Nope. I was like, oh my God, Carrie, this is the one.
This is the one. Okay, now... All right, Easter egg central that I got so excited about. Okay, first we see the first Paris dress right there. And then if you look mid on the rack, the frilly dress, that's the one that she wears to the last dinner with the girls.
Yep.
The season 6 fashion for me is
I know. Season 6 was really something. It really was, fashion-wise.
But he's like, I gotta take these shoes out of the town. We are now getting Duncan and Carrie out of the house. Okay, Seema's walking down the stairs. I was like, is she wearing a drug rug?
She seems like she is.
I was like, wow, I haven't seen one of these since college. And Seema needs her post-coitus cigarette, and she kills Adam's mother, knocking the plan out the window, and she is frantic.
We knew something was gonna happen with that.
Yeah, no good was gonna happen with that plant. You're not stabilized by the window. Charlotte has gone to Carrie's to have her psychic energy cleansed, where it's actually peace and quiet because no one is there but Shu and Carrie. Charlotte notices this gorgeous Vivienne Westwood frock call back to Carrie's wedding dress from the movie, also designed by Vivienne Westwood. And she's like, well, you know, Duncan invited me to a party. And of course, Charlotte is like interested in trying to toe the line of like what energy Carrie is giving her about it. And this is where we're starting to hear about the frustration between Carrie and Miranda again. And I'm like, I don't know what is going on here.
They didn't resolve stuff after their fight at Charlotte's party. The only thing I can think of is like Carrie and Miranda have always had the closest friendship that we've seen throughout Sex and the City, and Miranda has been braver than the other women about being very clear with Carrie about like problems that she notices.
Yeah, I'm imagining we're gonna get a blow up in like 11 or 12 is what I think is what we're building towards, because it's just like it feels weird for her to be treating Miranda like this, and I don't know, the energy is strange, which then and also Carrie is feeling very defensive about everyone telling her there's something more there. It's like she just like doesn't want to engage with this. She's like, this is not what's happening. And Charlotte asks that, you know, I just think it's just a very not insane question to ask. And Carrie's like, I don't want to go there. And Charlotte, I gasped when she said that.
I know.
She was like, fuck Miranda. I was like, Charlotte, where did this come from?
This is post dealing with cancer Charlotte. Like, Charlotte has always throughout the series been very concerned with what other people think. And I think she's just starting to realize, like, as she gets older and like more and more like actual real problems happen to her, she's just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Which I like that for her.
Carrie was the first person she told about Harry, so she's able to just have that sort of connection with each other. Rhonda, of course, you know, because she's rescheduled so many times, like has this perception of Charlotte of like, okay, your issues are the wallpaper. Who cares? You have 12 minutes left in your session. Take it back to that shallow duet with Bitsy and Muffling a few episodes ago. And we find out very quickly, like, Charlotte's been holding in everything, obviously, about Harry's diagnosis. We don't even know if the kids know, like, at this point. Like, it's still...
We haven't really heard more information about that, no.
Yeah. Rhonda comes to the screen, and it is one, Susie from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, my God. Susie Essman. Like I said previously, I was like, why are we not seeing her? Like, what is this big build-up? And I was like, you know what? I'll take a big build-up for Susie Essman. What the fuck, Larry? What did you do to the dog, Larry? Give me the doll's head, Larry. Get the fuck out of my house. I love Susie Essman.
Oh, Susie is just the best. I did have a thought early on. I was like, it's only either Susie or Rhea Perlman. There are two women with that hair. And those are the two options. And either would have been delighted.
I would have been delighted. Thrilled with either. Perhaps Rhea Perlman will play Rhonda's sister, who is a Reiki healer. I am ready for that.
Rhonda has like got all the time in the world for Charlotte. She's like, let's actually unpack this. Who cares? We're going to actually deal with these issues.
And she apologizes for being rude to her.
I love that because Charlotte needs a little bit of mothering. She always mothers everyone else. So I'm like happy to see that she's receiving that on her end. Seema's at her office where like there's employees. We have like there are multiple people there now. Like
stuff's happening.
Stuff is happening at Patel Group. Are we wildly successful yet? R2 and Adam is waiting for her, saying, you haven't returned my calls or texts, because she is freaked out on killing his mom. And Adam has told her, I salvaged some clippings, which as a plant person, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm not a plant person. So like, I forgot that's a thing you can do. I'm like, oh yeah.
You can propagate plants. Now, I don't have the greenest thumb. All of the plants in our house would die if it weren't for Jim. But I have done a bunch of cuttings because it's really fun to see like the roots grow in like a little thing of water. He is a gardener. He does have a green thumb. So like it makes sense. I will say the show is annoying often because they're like, oh no, core problem in the relationship. And then literally the next scene, they're like, it's no big deal. It's fine.
It was a beautiful metaphor of like what's broken can be born again. And like, you know, where it's not unsalvageable as you think it is. And he's like, I will take care of it for you. Again, Adam won me back over this episode. I was so icked out in karaoke episode. In this episode, I was like, okay, this was why you're back on the hot guy squad. You are back on your starting lineup.
Yeah, this is a man who's like worked some shit out and is like much more emotionally grounded than Sema gives him credit for.
Totally. So I was happy with this. Anything else you got on Adam and Sema?
No, I'm just glad we're not talking about deodorant anymore.
Where aren't we all? We're at the election. And he lost.
Oh boy. He lost. This was, I was surprised by this. I really thought that they were going to have him win. Yeah, the Wexleys seem to not be able to get a break right now.
They need to go on an actual vacation that's not on Governor's Island.
Yeah, no.
Like, y'all need to go to a resort, like an all-inclusive, turn your phones off. We are taken to, Carrie is like, you know what, this is not a date. I'm going for business. I'm a business lady. I'm in a matching power suit. We get another wonderful shot of the closet. But then Carrie goes back upstairs and thinks again, and we get the Vivienne Westwood, and I'm so thrilled of this, like, gorgeous shot. It feels like when Carrie runs up to the Russian when he's going to, like, his installation. It was like, it sort of felt like that vibe a little bit. But
it just felt like we got our mojo back a little bit.
Yeah.
Of, like, the original series and in the movies, Carrie is out of the apartment, out on the town, going to events like this, looking gorgeous, and this has been a very sort of, like, apartment and home-based cozy season, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but, like, it definitely felt like, ooh, there she is. There's our girl.
I know. She's back. And we find Duncan with his publisher, Imogen, who's another Brit in town for this party. And I just loved this extra opening the door for Carrie.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, I know who that is.
Yup.
I am opening she will not touch glass. You will not touch the ground. I am opening this door for you. Pay respects. This is Carrie Bradshaw. Kiss the ring. Imogen knows who she is without an introduction. Carrie Bradshaw just walked in. Duncan is learning Carrie Bradshaw is Carrie Bradshaw, which kind of feels like this man understands this is Carrie Bradshaw. Pay respects.
Yep, there she is.
Carrie Bradshaw, not just your upstairs neighbor. This woman has pounded the pavement. She is writing that New York Star column. She has 7 bestsellers. She's been around the block. That is Carrie Bradshaw.
She's been on the bus. She's been on the side of the bus.
She's been on the bus. She's been face planted on a runway wearing Dolce & Gabbana panties. And, you know, that's our girl. So it just feels... I'm like, she's saying hi to people. They're like, oh my God, Carrie, hi to see you. Our girl is out in New York's #1 girl. And he's impressed by this look, this number, this corset number that we got going on.
Yeah, very much a nod to the visual inspiration that we saw on Carrie's wall, this dress.
Totally. Also, it's like a more elevated version of like the tutu, I feel like.
Yeah. Definitely.
From the credits, yeah. And she looks hot. She looks hot. And we unfortunately cut back to...
Oh my God. I forgot.
I know. I'm really sorry, everyone. There's like nothing I can do. This was in the show. And I really like, if I don't want to talk about this, we don't want to talk about this. You don't want to think about it.
No, we don't.
And Giuseppe's like, again, it's fine. I'm in the bubble. Nothing's going on. Oh, and Anthony's like, would you want to like move in with me? And sweet Giuseppe's like, I don't want to rush this. You know, I like the pace that we're at. Okay, this was the best screenshot I could do without, like, I'm so glad you don't hear the sound effect. Because
my God. It was, this was, oh my God. This was a very upsetting parallel to when Miranda finds out that her across the hall neighbor is a naked man brandishing a meat cleaver.
Seeing someone masturbate to a puppet was
no, didn't need it. Didn't want it. Didn't need it.
Didn't want it. Didn't want to know this existed. I don't want to kink shame, but it was just like this was.
I wish I could erase it.
Giuseppe, rightfully horrified, says, "I'm going to move in." Thank God we are exiting Geppetto's a sanctuary as quickly as possible, and we never have to see that again. But we're back, and at the publishing party, we find out that Imogen and Duncan were married. Interesting. We don't know when they were divorced. She's got like a Kate Blanchett energy vibe to her.
A little bit. Very like, you know, upper class posh. And we get some more details about Duncan and what his process is as a writer. And he's like, I need a bit of an extension. I wonder why. He wants to stay in New York. And he does not get the extension. But also, I did kind of feel like, I was like, are we setting up Carrie going to London? Because she was like, if you need a publisher in the UK, I was like... I mean... Wouldn't be mad.
We cut to Brady reading Anthony Bourdain. He's fallen asleep, reading his hero. And Miranda is just like, obviously, like, I've got to take care of my sweet cherub angel. You know, Mama's got to step in. Foreshadowing, I think, what's about to happen in the last 2 episodes. What we've said, I think Miranda is going to take, you know, really insert herself in the situation. And we're back at the
my
set.
God! Finally.
It's like, finally, we get what we've been building for this entire season. I think you're wonderful. And he's like, Carrie Bradshaw, you're a thing. And he's into it. He's attracted to, like, her perception of, like, success. And it's so hot. It is so hot.
It's so hot. It's so hot. It's so hot.
Secure in his masculinity. And Carrie's like, I think you're wonderful as well. He asks her if she wants to come downstairs, and she's like, I don't know. I don't think so. So we see for now it's not happening. Carrie gets up to the stairs. Much like when she changed her outfit earlier, she changes her mind, and we get a highlight. I couldn't get a good screenshot of the shoes, but they focus on the Jimmy Choos that Duncan was so obsessed with earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! I was squealing.
This was good. This was good. The romantic energy finally bubbled over. It was so nice to see them kiss.
My God.
I was so happy. I was so happy.
I know. We've gone through the Sahara Desert. We've been parched. We've been so dehydrated. And this was like, it finally filled every like bit that we needed. And they're in bed. Carrie is in a sexier bra than we've seen her in bed in a while.
Yes,
you know?
Absolutely. And their like energy together is like just so nice. And like the one thing I will say about this is I really like them together, and it was clear like the tension had broke. They finally had sex. They both seemed really happy about it. He is like about to leave and not come back because he's going back to London to focus on his book. They both seem like cool with that and resigned by that, but I'm just disappointed because I'm like, is that all we get of Duncan?
I know. One episode.
I have faith that he will get to London. He won't be able to stop thinking about Carrie. He realizes that, like, he needs her to, like, help him work on his book. And I'm hoping that at least in the final episode, she'll be either in London or off to London. But I will say, and just like that, if this is all we get of Duncan and Carrie, like, finally kissing and fucking and loving, I will be so angry.
We're going to be pissed. And he's like, what's going to happen to the woman? And he's like, I've got this idea. She should live. And she's such a unique, okay, this is where it's like, they're telling us we're about to get 7 more seasons in just like that, because she's such a unique character, it'd be such a shame to end her. It's
I
like,
know. That was directed at whoever makes the decisions at HBO.
Everything was so hot here. I just loved
everything. Was really hot.
Ugh, one more kiss for the road before he's got to pack it up to London town, him and his stew pots. Gotta go back to London. And we see Carrie out in the garden. This shot made me think of I Heart NY, an episode we talk a lot about, when she's like walking down the street with the leaves and she picks it up. It just felt like that, like Carrie's like looking to the sky, and we don't know what's next for Carrie.
There's nothing like the new beginning of fall in Sex and the City or in When Harry Met Sally or any like iconic
You've Got
New
Mail.
York piece of cinema. You've Got Mail. So like fall is a very rich time for this kind of cinema.
We made it through the drought, and it's finally raining for Carrie. It's raining men, and we'll see you next week for one of the last 2 episodes of the season. Let us know in the comments what you're thinking. Again, we're on Instagram, TikTok. Let us know how you're feeling, what thoughts you have. We'll see you next time.
Bye!
Bye!